Hello guys, welcome back to another collector's discussion. Today we have the InArt Queen Studios Gandalf 1/6 scale. They're really coming with the heavy hitters. I think in this past couple of months we might get a bit more from them. They've released promo pictures of Gandalf now, so without any more rambling on, if you guys do enjoy this, make sure you like and sub, and I'll pull the pictures up right now and we'll get right into it. So here the pretty much are the photos here. This is everything it comes with right here. I gotta say, I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings fan. Don't get me wrong, I like the movies and I've obviously watched the original trilogy, but I'm not a diehard fan of this franchise. I do enjoy it though. And before this recording, I did look at some videos and still images of Gandalf, and it looks pretty good from what we're getting here. And some of the accessories are really good. Like, for example, that sword is real die cast. Obviously you get magnetic hands like the Joker, so it's really good. So we've got a fair chunk of photos to go through, so I might as well scroll through it. Before I do it, the base is really cool. It's like, I like to call this like a detail friendly base, or a module case friendly base, where it's not as big to fill everything out. Like, it's not those shitty diamond bases that Hot Toys used to give out. I'm pretty sure they still do that. I'm not a fan of them. This is, like I said, this is more like detail module case friendly, and it's magnetic on the legs. Pretty much like Joker. So I assume that's going to be a reoccurring thing for InArt. That's going to be their gimmick. But as you can see here, this is really good. Like, Viper's hair work when it comes to these figures are probably the best in the business. But this is really nice. I think a compliment with not just InArt, but I think with 1/6 scale companies in general, I think they nail elder people's likenesses. Like, I've got the Jack Nicholson Joker from Hot Toys. Behind me, I don't know if you can see it, I've got the Marlon Brando Godfather from Hot Toys as well, and they're pretty much 10 out of 10 head sculpts. And I think companies nail that older people's likeness much better than the younger characters. And this is no exception. This is pretty much dead on to Gandalf, in my opinion. But yeah, the tailoring looks all nice. It's just robes, but again, it's pretty hard to screw up robes like this. It all falls nice and naturally. The hands are probably just as much as a standout to the face, in my opinion. And obviously you got the beard here, the texturing. This is really nice as well. Again, this is all real sheep's wool, so it's not sculpted, and that's the same with the hair. And unlike the Joker, where you got multiple different variations with rooted or sculpted, this one just comes as this with the rooted hair, which I think is the better option anyway, to do this just the one package you can get, I guess you can say. So obviously you got a staff here. This would have been nice if it was real wood. I'm not too sure if this is real wood. This might be just sculpted plastic, which again, that's fine. The sword being metallic and real die cast, that's pretty good. So obviously you got a couple of shots of the face here. Yeah, these hands are really nice. Like, one thing that I'm not a fan of when it comes to Hot Toys is they're kind of a miss when it comes to their hands. I think the DX11 Joker's their best one, where it had the blood and the fingertips, and it was, you know, had the makeup and the face paint. Other than that, I don't think Hot Toys have really done great with hands. Oh, and actually the Johnny Depp Ichabod crane has pretty good, because it's got the pin details that happened in that movie. So I guess Hot Toys are here and there, mix and mix, 50-50 when it comes to hands. But this is really nice, like, you got different pores here, obviously, you got the wrinkles, different colouring in the skin. It looks like there's pores on the nose as well. That's really, really good. I think the likeness is here. Some people were a bit scared with the first photos they've shown, but I reckon this completely gets rid of that nervousness people had. Again, this looks really good, and I'm pretty sure this has rotating eyes. It's movable, so that's going to be pretty interesting of how they're going to get around doing that with the fact that, like, 80% of this head sculpt's full of hair, so I don't know how they're going to do it. Is it going to be like Hot Toys where it's at the back and you got to like part out the hair? Or is it like the Prime 1 statue where the neck joint has a little switch on the bottom that moves the eyes on the switch? And that's the same with the Joker. I'm not really sure how they went around with moving the eyes with that figure, and obviously we're going to eventually get it to find out for ourselves. So obviously, it's not really much accessory-wise. To be fair, I don't remember Gandalf wielding a lot of stuff. He was just kind of a big presence, rather than a guy holding a lot of accessories and weapons. I think this is probably, obviously this is the most you're going to get. And what you get is fine. Like, I really love that this is a metal sword. Again, I'm not 100% if this is wood or sculpted plastic. I'm fine either way though. But yeah, it's like what I said. This is the standout weapon. And if I was to get this, I'll probably display mine with the hat. I think the hat, or the wizard hat, that looks really nice. And obviously these robes are really nice too. They're a little bit tattered and torn up on the bottom here. Actually, all the way around by the looks of it. Yeah, even up to the sleeve part. I think that might be a bit worrying if you're over-articulating, because, you know, broken fabric will continue to break if you're not careful and if you pull too much on it. So that might be a bit worrying. But maybe they've done something where it won't continue to tatter up and tear. But yeah, I don't have any real negatives to this. This is really, really interesting to see that we're actually getting this figure, because Asmus did it, and a lot of people were just happy that Asmus made that, and that's probably their definitive figure. And I don't think a lot of people would have complained, you know, about that. So it's interesting we got something that is better than that, when a lot of people thought that was the benchmark of a Gandalf figure. And I'm just excited to see what happens next. Again, I'm probably not going to get this, because again, I'm not a massive fan of Lord of the Rings, nor am I that invested in it. But I have to appreciate this, that this is really, really good. And this is in my opinion an advancement to 1/6 scale, especially with rooted hair and rooted beard for this price. I think the price is scale, it's rumored, I don't think it's 100% confirmed yet, but I think 500 to 550 USD is what this is rumored as. And here in Australia, that's converted, that's upscaled and converted, so that's probably, you're looking at 600 to 650 Australian currency, which, that's expensive. But again, me knowing the custom game with 1/6 scale figures and custom collectors and all that, you would not get a rooted head sculpt for that price. You would get that for 700 plus. If you were to send something and get it professionally done by Viper before he joined Queen, you would look at 700 plus for rooted hair and beard. So 500 to 550 USD is a pretty good deal considering you're getting professionally done rooted hair, where this is individually punched in, unlike a Hot Toys one where it's like a weave piece where they've glued it on and they've glued a whole installation, while this is singly punched in. And again, for 550, I think that's a good price. And on top of that, you're getting magnet arms, you're getting realistic detailing, you're getting metallic weapons, a base, a fairly decent base at that. So yeah, I don't really have any complaints with this. Although, I think looking at the movie, his eyes might have been a little bit more vibrant, stand out than this. That just might be because it's pictured in a green screen, a traditional grey green screen. Maybe it's, you know, shading up the eyes a bit. I think that's the only major complaint, and I don't think it's that big of a complaint. Because again, I don't think everyone's going to have this lighting. But yeah, this base is really nice. The Asmus one is better, I think. It's more elaborate, it's got more stuff to it, the Asmus base. But if you're a D12 collector like what's behind me, or even with the mochi cases, this is probably more friendly, where it's like, it almost looks like real rock. And I love the nameplate too. That looks much better than the Hot Toys ones that they do now, where it's like they just stamp or print a nameplate instead of actually carving it like they used to with the die-cast little plate. I love the die-cast plate, even though you can't really see it sometimes. I like the fact that it's die-cast and it's not, you know, inked on. And this is really nice. I like that it's gold or brass, where you can see it with the contrast of the bricks. But yeah, this is nice. I don't see anything to complain about. I don't see any crappy pleather material. There's no rubber body, so again, I'm not going to complain about it. The head sculpt is pretty much on point. And again, I'm not the die-hard Lord of the Rings fan, so I'm not going to say that it's a 10 out of 10. Because again, I think hardcore Lord of the Rings fans are going to point out every inaccuracy. And that's fair, that's like me. I'm a Batman and horror collector, and I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to Batman and horror, where I point out every little detailing that's incorrect. My Pennywise Hot Toys is probably the best example. I pretty much brutalized that figure in being hugely inaccurate. So it depends on the source material. For me, I'm not that familiar, so I'll probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. It can't be a 10 out of 10, because again, I don't know this that well. But on face value, you know, it's Gandalf. So even if it is slightly inaccurate, I can excuse it to a certain degree. To regular people who walk into your collection and see this, know who this is. It's not hugely inaccurate, where people have to second guess who this character is. But yeah, this is insane. I mentioned the Jack Nicholson Joker. I would really love to see either Hot Toys or Queen InArt update that, because you know that's over 10 years old, that figure. And like I said, I think 1/6 scale is the best when it's an older character, whether it's a female, male, or, you know, whatever. And I would really love to see an updated Jack Nicholson where you can get these detailing and poor texturing in comparison to 10 years ago, where it was kind of lacking. Don't get me wrong, it was still a great head sculpt, but I think we can elevate that more with some of those old school figures. I thought they were different expressions there. So the eyes do look like they've moved a little bit. They look like they're, if you see here, it looks like they're a little bit eye to eye. And it looks like here they're a bit more rolled up. But yeah, I really struggle to see a complaint with this. And I love the accessories that this comes with. I love figures where it comes with a huge array of accessories to choose from. I assume this will be real paper material, which, again, Hot Toys do that too, so that's not that much of a big thing. But yeah, this is great. Like, robed fabric figures, I don't think you can really screw up. Unless if the head sculpt is really bad, but the actual fabrics look pretty good. Again, there's no pleather material, there's no crappy material that's going to rot or disintegrate if you pose it like this. The body underneath, from what I know, is not rubber, but it is going to be magnetized. And I'll keep it here. It's the same thing that I said with my Joker, the Queen Studios InArt Joker that I'm getting. With the wrist joints being magnets, and I'm pretty sure they said this is going to be magnets too. I just hope that they're strong enough when they mass produce it to hold these weapons, right? So something like this being plastic is going to be fine, because it's not going to be that weighty or heavy for this magnet joint, basically. But something like the sword that is metallic and is die cast, I hope it's able to hold the poses that people want to pull off with this. Because if it doesn't and the magnet keeps just falling off, that's going to be a huge problem. But I do hope Queens see that as something to keep an eye on. And they've basically said that they're not going to send this out if it's going to have default problems. And like I said, I think hands are going to be Queen Studios' gimmick, as well as the rooted head sculpts. Because these are just insanely detailed. And for me personally, if this is what we get with the final product, I'm really considering leaving from collecting Hot Toys. You know, and that just might be me being salty because Hot Toys haven't really produced anything that has wowed me in the couple of years, I guess you can say. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they haven't made anything good. I'm just saying they haven't made anything that makes me as a collector really want to collect. Like, I don't always want to collect the big three, which technically is the only big two Hot Toys make, which is Star Wars and Marvel, with the exception of a rare DC figure. And most of the time, that exception of a DC figure is just a straight re-release or reissue, and it's not really an original thing. And that's honestly making me stray away from Hot Toys recently, where I'm either going back to find old school Hot Toys that I missed out on because there's nothing that has really interested me for the current stuff. But with InArt showing their list of stuff, I'm intrigued with, to be fair, honestly, most of their stuff in comparison to what Hot Toys have put up for pre-order or even teased in the near future. But yeah, see this, for example, if I was to get this, I would probably have mine like this. I love figures with hats and accessories and like that. And like I said, going back here, the base is friendly enough where it's not going to fill up a lot in your detail or module case. And it's magnetic too, so I wonder if... I really hope it's not magnet in one specific spot. That's another thing I think is good to point out. I hope that the whole base is somehow integrated with a magnet, so it allows us to choose where we want to stand our figure. There's nothing more that I hate than having to plant it in one position and you can't move it at all because the magnets aren't compatible anywhere else. So yeah, that's another slight... I can't call it a negative because we haven't got it yet, but That's a concern, I would say, if it's only magnetized in one specific spot on this base. Okay, that's a better picture of it there. Like I said, I think the best I can describe this is, like I said, it's friendly, it's display friendly, where it's, if you're not a 1/6 scale collector, and this is the only piece you're going to get, it's grand enough for a singular display. But at the same time, if you're going to collect the whole fellowship, I assume they're going to release the rest of the gang from the fellowship. This is friendly enough for you to stack them all next to each other. And then this is basically all the accessories. You know, I love the look of the books and the accessories of this piece. Oh, you get the ring as well. Nice. Okay. I didn't even say that until now. So you do get the ring. Is the ring die cast though? That's going to be interesting. Is the ring die cast? Because that's one thing I don't like about Hot Toys with their smaller accessories. So I'm thinking more of the Harvey Dent 2.0 re-release that came out recently, or maybe 3-4 years ago. And the Harvey Dent obviously comes with a coin, and that coin wasn't metallic, and it was really, really, from what I remember seeing people review it, it looked a bit flimsy. It was pretty flimsy plastic. So I hope this is metal. And I hope Hot Toys in the future that do smaller little accessories like that hop on to do more metal stuff. Because I think that's a real big draw for people to collect. And when you're getting something like this that is plastic, it's pretty concerning. Especially like that, like a ring. Because that's obviously hollow, I guess. So I assume that would be metal. Obviously, I've already said this enough, the actual sword is metal. Okay, so that's actually... you know what? I thought that was actually... someone's hands. But that's actually the figure's hands. That's insane. Look, I thought that was just some guy holding, you know, to show the accessories. But no, that's the actual hands that come with the figure. Yeah, I really like this. And I love that they're magnetized as well. And they're not on those shitty pegs that Hot Toys bring. Keep making. The one thing I can say Sideshow have done right with the pegs is they're actually sculpted in the hands so they don't snap when you have to, you know, when you want to interchange them. That's something I've always disliked with Hot Toys, is their pegs for the hands. And the fact that InArt are completely getting rid of them and just using them as magnets that's pretty good in my opinion. As long as they're strong magnets, and I think that's good, that has to be said more than enough. They need to be strong for that to hold when it comes to an actual metal sword. But that looks like it's pretty much it. So I'll go back to where all the product piece is. Okay, so you got it here. Yeah, I really struggle to see a complaint with this. Maybe some people would have a complaint with the actual price, but again, you're getting state-of-the-art rooting hair, and if the final product is this good, you can't really complain, because again, so much attention to detail needs to be done for rooted hair. So I can't really complain about this. If the price is what it's rumored, which is $5 to $5.50 USD. Again, if you guys are out of the US like myself, you have to convert it to your currency. Obviously, if that's too much for you, you know, don't get it, you know. There's no pressure. But I think this is probably going to be the best Gandalf in the market. I think this has already knocked Asmus out. And speaking of Asmus, they recently done the Ash from Evil Dead 2. I really hope InArt amp up on the horror stuff. They've said Pennywise is on their list for this year or early next year, and you know, I'm running to that automatically. You know, I have the Hot Toys one. Yes, I have complaints with that, but like I said, I'll do a fair comparison on that. But again, this is not about Pennywise. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure you like and sub, and I'll see you in the next one.